And on a happier note, our next contributing poet is not dead. He is in fact here from Seattle, Matt Gano, author of Suits for the Swarm, a poetry collection from TapHouse Press, and has been writing and teaching professionally since '04. Matt has guest lectured at the Juilliard School and has worked international residencies teaching creative writing in Hong Kong and in Seoul, Korea. He has represented Seattle in the National Poetry Slam several years and is the 2008 Seattle Grand Champion. He's the founder of You Speak Seattle fame program, The Writing Circle, and is currently an artist in residence with Seattle Arts and Lectures. Please welcome Matt Gano.
This is called Orange. A man with a paper bag on his head for a hat, folded so it sits like a squire's cap. It's a good day for hats. The fountain at Cal Anderson Park is disgusting. The Flatwater Reservoir is coated in orange algae. The algae is the texture and color of IPA vomit. In winter, when it freezes, the gulls and pigeons battle for shitters' rights. In summer, dog and children owners allow their pets to splash openly with joy in the scum.
Sorry.
That's it. Roast. The street is polished sheet metal. The sky is hammered concrete, and the rain is coming down like it always does. I'm sitting at a table behind glass in a cafe. In here, the roast keeps the air dry, rich. I used to think that the burnt toast smell of roasting coffee was actually the burnt toast smell of the funeral home cremating bodies. I thought this for quite some time, maybe up until just last year. None of that really matters except to say for quite a while I had a very grim understanding of where I live. There is a man outside. He has a gray mustache and he's little. It's raining, wet rain. His gray hair is wet, his blue coat is open, and he's wrestling the Seattle Times newspaper dispenser. He fed his quarters in as he always does and reached down to grab his paper, but as soon as he pulled out, the dispenser door slammed shut on the zipper of his raincoat. He's caught in the trap door and the zipper is jammed in tight. It's a deep catfish kind of stuck and he's noodling away but coming up empty. He motions to all of his onlookers, everyone's watching, that he's out of quarters and hopeless. Now, a good man is feeding one of his dollars into the coin slot, hoping to free that bottom-feeding jacket. But no, nothing. It's all jammed. It's all vaudeville. The coat won't budge. The old man shrugs and throws his hands up to the audience. He spins out of his jacket and slides it over the Seattle Times dispenser like putting the robe on a champ. And just like that, he goes, paper overhead, with all the headlines soaking in. 240 words. I'm home on a lunch break and there's no one here. That's a good thing though, because I live alone. This is an old apartment and it still smells like the 20s. There is lead in the walls so the air sinks. The windows face north into a courtyard squared by buildings on all sides. The garden below is doing its best to be Pacific Northwest in June. The giant oak is a black squawking cloud of birds. It's 30 feet high and full of 100 beaks, but I'm not good with numbers. All I wanted was a sandwich. There was a crow caught in the frame of the sliding door on the back porch of the penthouse across from me. It looks like an impossible way to be stuck. The crow's foot is somehow wedged in the framework, and it's flopping and barking like it doesn't want to die. It's going to die, though, and I'm not going to call animal control. There's nothing they can do anyway. I'm not cruel, I don't think. I just want to eat my sandwich and go back to work. When you're a bank teller, you see crows die on your neighbor's porch all the time. You do your best to tune out the giant oak and carry on. It takes 6 years to write 240 words about something that could have never happened. That was probably the death of me. Thank you for listening. This is called The Right Number. The doctor says I have viral tonsillitis. Every time I swallow, someone is tearing up the street in the back of my throat. Speaking of that, the city has decided that 1 a.m. is a good time to blast jackhammers on 12th and Pike. There's 3 guys just doing their job and being real assholes about it. I'm sure they don't think of themselves as assholes, but everyone in the 4-block radius surely does. A couple hours ago, I drank a bunch of liquid codeine. It fills the potholes in my throat temporarily. I'm supposed to be drowsy. I'm not supposed to operate heavy machinery. Jackhammers on a Monday night at 1 a.m. are probably not something to call 911 about, but I did it anyway. Codeine. The dispatcher was sympathetic and told me I called the right number and that I wasn't wasting his time. He says the city can be assholes anytime they choose and no one can do anything about it. I wish those 3 guys being assholes all had viral tonsillitis and that they were the ones who drank a bunch of codeine and we wouldn't even be having this conversation. One last poem. This is called Listening Station.
We can turn it down. I'll turn it down in between.
Her mother isn't even paying attention. She's playing on the phone. Her mother is used to it by now. I'm staring at them and her mother says, she does this all the time. Everyone is wearing headphones. I'm not wearing headphones. The little girl is talking to the back of the seat in front of her. The little girl is a chatterbox. She's telling a story, unfolding a narrative. It's reverse origami. The reverse origami is the birth of the universe. Her imagination is opening a galaxy in front of me. Her voice is the sound of it expanding. She's 7, and I can tell her age by the way she pronounces adjectives. She's improvising. She does this all the time, everywhere. We're on the bus, the number 2, headed into downtown. And this story is 8 blocks long. There is a cedar chest nestled in the breast pocket of an old closet in the back corner of a mothy attic. The closet is unlocked. The chest has broken hinges and a heavy lid. The chest is filled with miniature organs. There's a little accordion, an empty cereal box, an old sponge, a bag of sticks, a dusty computer, and a megaphone that yells marching songs. At the very bottom of the chest is an old boot. The old boot has torn laces and looks just like a dead armadillo. Inside the dead boot is a wormhole the stars crawl out of like magnets. The stars have arms and hearts just like us and come through the boot by gravity. They all come this way, but they're much too light for Earth, so as soon as they arrive, they're blown away. The wind shakes them out like salt into the sky, and others fall into the ocean. At the beach, children put the stars in their mouths and spit them at their sisters. They build them into castles and imagine the storming nights. Wait till you see what they do in the dark. Her mother is not paying attention. She does this all the time. I'm the only one listening to this station. I never knew how the stars were formed.